You are watching Living Delicious with Helena, and today we will be living delicious and living aloha because our guest today is Paul Klink, the founder, the originator, the author of Live Aloha.
Those two words, yes.
Nice to meet you, Paul.
My blessing.
Thank you for being here.
I'm very honored. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I would like to have two shows today with you, one about your life and one about Live Aloha and projects.
Sure.
Would that be fine?
I'm honored. Thank you.
Okay, so since we already spoke about Aloha, and Aloha is actually connected to your life, what would you like the first show to be about? You choose.
Probably about living consciously, living in the now, living with responsibility, meaning choosing your response to whatever happens around you, having the ability to choose your response to what happens around you at all times. So whether you're in a tragic situation, horrific situation, a beautiful situation, you're determining your inner voice, your inner thoughts, and your inner mind, and your attitude, and how you feel how to live in your life.
And is that what Live Aloha is about?
I think Live Aloha is so far above and beyond in a spiritual level for Hawaiians, which I'm a steward of Live Aloha. I'm born in upstate New York. I moved here back in 1985, and Aloha was literally pounded into me a couple days after I moved here. And so having the alo, the spirit, and the ha, the breath, yes, and being able to do a honi, the Hawaiian greeting with my Hawaiian friends, I'm so honored and so blessed to have been taught about the Hawaiian culture. I was humbled quickly after I moved here and was able to get in with Hawaiian culture and Hawaiian people just a few days after moving to Hawaii through circumstances beyond anyone's control, where I learned about Aloha in really special and sacred ways. And it changed my life forever. I didn't know, watching that Hawaiian Brady Bunch when I was a kid, seeing little Tiki and Marcia and all the kids in the Brady Bunch, that I'd ever be here in Hawaii and experiencing what I saw on that show. So, you know, coming to Hawaii and being able to really learn and dive deep into the Hawaiian culture and be trusted and to be a steward of what I've learned and share that in my life has really improved my life quite a bit and helps me with my choices on how I react to what happens around me in my life.
So did you move to Hawaii right away, or you first visited?
I'd never been on an airplane. I through different situations and circumstances, I was invited to move to Hawaii, and I was
just move from New York.
I started college really young. I started college at 14 in 1979.
In other words, a brilliant child.
Well, a good test taker.
Okay.
And so a friend of mine invited me to move out here, and I did. I took a chance right away. My mother and my grandfather both lobbied me quite a bit because they wanted to come out and visit me if I moved here. I was born in upstate New York, a place called Auburn, near Owasco Lake in the Finger Lakes region. Yeah. Very cold, a lot of beautiful four seasons. Great place to visit. Kind of chilly at this time of the year to actually be there. I was picturesque with the snow.
Most of the times it's year chilly.
Yeah, I love living in Hawaii, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And so I moved here to Hawaii. 2 days after I moved here, I went to a concert at the Shell. Just the day before that, the second day I was here, I was just walking down Kohio Avenue next to two theaters that used to be there called the Twin Theaters. And a local fellow was having a bad day and decided to take it out on me and attacked me from behind. And I broke a tooth. I ended up in the hospital.
Wow.
And the next night, my face looked horrible. I didn't know what to do, and I heard there was a concert, Michael Frank's concert. And so I went to the ABC store and I bought a case of Frictionated champagne. It was inexpensive, but the bottles looked really cool. And I went to the Shell, went out to the grass, and I looked for the biggest gaggle of wahinis, group of girls I could find. And I said, I had the champagne and no one to share it with. And they're like, sit down. And so I sat down, and there was a Hawaiian family sitting behind us.
So that's your pickup line.
Yeah, no, I don't need pickup. These eyes, I need a pickup line.
And that smile?
Being quiet is all I need. Saying anything is selling fast to close. So I'm really fortunate. My mom and dad gave the good recipe. I'm very fortunate that way.
So you wink with one eye.
I keep them both open. They gotta work.
Champagne.
And so I had these champagne, and this Hawaiian family was sitting behind them, and I offered some champagne to them, and so we all drank the champagne and watched the concert. And there's a auntie woman, a Hawaiian woman there with a hakule, a very beautiful woman, and I ended up almost falling asleep on her leg. It was like a beanbag chair, so I leaned over on her.
But you were still bruised.
I was really, and the last thing I heard before I got beat up was, you effing haole. And I'm like, what are these words? I never knew what the haole word meant. And then that night at the concert, the next night, she had put her fingers through my hair, and she goes, oh, my haole. And I'm like, whoa, what's that? Are you going to kill me? What's wrong? I thought it was a word you'd say in Hawaiian before they kill you. And so she said, no, haole means you're, I mean, I know now what it means literally in Hawaiian, but
Yes.
at that time, the way she expressed it to me was, you're a guest, you're not a host. That, you know, having even just looking at someone straight in the eye in certain contexts could be an act of war. I mean, without the local nod and, hey, how's it going, and a smile. And as a haole in Hawaii, maybe defacing myself a little or being super, super humble, you know, understanding that I'm a guest, as I would be acting at anyone's home if I was a guest. And so I think just my posture and my attitude, this guy maybe passed me going the sidewalk the other way, and I probably just gave him a hey. And if he gave me a weird look, I was like, what? I'm from New York, you know, whatever. And that's all it needed to trigger. So I took my part of the responsibility, but I learned a little bit about Aloha. So instead of many of my friends who've been here, I've been here 27 plus years, it'll be 28 years in March, it's still kind of an us and them sort of thing where, so they're learning Aloha very slowly. It was pounded into my face the second day I was moved here. So actually I'm very grateful to that fellow because I never would have learned what Aloha meant, and that part of the meaning of Aloha is humility and compassion and passion and appreciation. And it's an infinite word, but I was very fortunate to learn that way quickly, and it made the last 27 years of my life so much better.
I like how you say I was fortunate, because many people, if that would happen the first day, I'm leaving Hawaii, Aloha does not exist, everybody is mean. And I like how you twist the story.
I got a lot of compassion from a lot of people after what happened. The police were really friendly, the medical assistance people were very friendly, the hospital people were amazing, and everybody came to my rescue, and I was given a chance to give grace to somebody who was apologetic and contrite.
So you were toothless?
I got my teeth knocked out from my teeth. These are all artificial down here now.
Really? So more than one tooth you got knocked out?
It was smashed out. It shattered on the cement.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So when you were drinking champagne with them, you were like a
Using
toothless little guy?
Yeah, I must look really cute.
Wow,
so,
and blue probably in your face
because
because blood starts bruising.
It's way before social media, but it would have been a big blast on Twitter and Facebook, believe me. But yeah, no, I was a sight to see, but I think I shine no matter how I look. I just want to be happy.
You do, yes, yes. So when did the real Live Aloha sentence, when did you put that together, or how did, did you put it together, or you just marketed it?
Oh, no. There was a group of people back in 1993 and 1994 that wanted to do a revitalization of the Aloha spirit, and they put a request out to the community, the advertising industry, saying to all the copywriters, we're looking for the title of a movement, and this is what the movement will do, to help revitalize Aloha, bring Aloha back into situations where maybe it was leaking out. And I was actually just driving down, I think it was Ward Avenue with a friend of mine in the car, going through some words in my mind, and I was like, giving Aloha, living Aloha, being Aloha, live Aloha. She goes, whoa, live Aloha sounds great. And so I submitted about 12 different phrases amongst hundreds that were submitted from all copywriters around the state and other areas, I'm sure. And they unanimously chose that phrase for that movement. And the Ohia Lehua flower that's on the sticker, which is also right here, is from Sig Zane on the Big Island. He donated his logo, which is a beautiful flower. And the legend I heard and the myth I heard about the Ohia Lehua flower that's on the bumper sticker that says Live Aloha is, as you might have heard it.
On your speech?
Yes.
But tell us.
Okay, great. The legend is that Pele was coming out of the top of a volcano, and Ohia, the gentleman, was making love to his beautiful woman Lehua on the side of the volcano, and Pele asked him to stop what he was doing and come up and be with her, and he scorned her and said, no, I'm staying with Lehua. So she got upset, and the myth says that she covered them with lava and killed them. Her sister immediately flew up from Bora Bora and said, you can't kill mortals because the man won't come up and take care of you and scorn his girlfriend. You have to have a penance and do something to immortalize them and give them a legacy. And so she created the rough bark of the Ohia and the beautiful blossom of the Lehua to memorialize Lehua and Ohia in the Ohia Lehua tree in bush, or however you want to put it. And also, as a legend goes, and so I've heard, the seed of the Ohia Lehua bush or tree is the only thing that can survive freshly poured lava where it kills everything.
Really?
And so as water and sunshine go through the lava, it grows the Ohia Lehua, and it survives the lava the way I hope Aloha will survive today's society, with all the cement and stress and pressures that we all share, whether we're homeless or a chairman of a major corporation. We all share certain things that could be perceived as stress. Yeah. Well, I'm hoping the Aloha will get in all of us and help us live our lives, with compassion and passion and all the things that we feel Aloha means to us.
Wow. So how come you didn't think plumeria flower is more famous, or those flowers, orchid or lei flowers?
I think they were looking for a flower that really had a myth that would represent the meaning of living aloha, where living aloha is going to be a conscious choice for a lot of people most of the time, because the outer influences and things that come to us in our life will probably bend us more towards not living aloha, and the human brain tends to default with all the positive ions to negative thought. So having a conscious decision to see live aloha, and again, it's a bumper sticker, so you're probably not going to see.
Beautiful green letters, handwritten.
Yes.
That's why I wrote Live Delicious also with handwritten, because you
that.
write your own life.
Yeah, exactly.
Live Aloha, you use your pen, you write your aloha.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people who helped found the real founder of Live Aloha
Originals?
would be Robbie Alms, and there's many people who supported and built and helped the organization. They have a committee and meetings and things like that. So being the author of the words, I'm very honored they chose those words, and I've been a steward of it and helped bring it forward and keep it in the community. But remember, it's a bumper sticker, so you're probably not going to see your bumper sticker. So when you get your bumper sticker and you put it on your car, it's really for other people to see. So you're making a statement that you believe in living aloha, and then you're helping to share it with other people. A reminder, probably one of the most stressful times we all share is in traffic. Yeah. And then we made the group, and we made different shapes so kids could put it on their surfboards or inside their locker door. I've seen them on refrigerators. They're all over the world now. I was just in Italy last April, and I saw them in Italy, and I saw them in Japan, in Tokyo. I've seen them all over the world. And so it's a beautiful thing to be able to share. And to me, aloha is inclusive. It's not exclusive. So being able to share it to everyone around the world so that people can live aloha no matter where they are in the world, every day, in real time, all the time.
Yeah. When you say Hawaii, when you say aloha, only good things come to your mind.
Yes.
You smile, you think of the sunshine and beauty and freedom and dolphins. It's beautiful.
Yes.
And if you cannot live that, then what's the remedy?
Right. I think for most people, being reminded by the sticker, being able to run into people who, people hear about Hawaii, there's a lot of stereotypes, and then for me in aloha, there's certain stereotypes. But when people learn about the meaning, the deeper meanings, as you were talking earlier, of the words and how sacred they are to Hawaiians, and appreciating it from that level, and there's websites now, and of course the stickers out there, where people can learn a precursory learning, a meaning of what those words are, and it can really affect them and change them in their life and their daily routines. Yeah. And that's a beautiful opportunity. For a farm boy from upstate New York, who would have thunk? I mean, come on.
Exactly. So
I'm just so grateful to be here to be able to share that.
After being broken with aloha spirit.
Yes, it got beat into me. They say you can learn gravity 2 ways. Course of your lifetime, you can step off curbs thousands of times, and maybe before you pass away in your 80s, like, something's pulling me down when I step off the curb. That must be gravity. Or you can jump off a building in the last 6 seconds, gravity! So I learned the second way. Yes. I'm really grateful. I'm honestly, sincerely grateful for that beating.
You look grateful.
I am.
It shines through.
I am. It hurt, but it was a good lesson.
Yeah. What I like about the story that you use that flower is that Pele, we can relate to her because she has all this anger. She creates and destroys at the same time. It's not just destruction. Just like she destroyed them, but she created them. She destroys the islands, but she creates islands. Yes. Your experience, he destroyed your teeth, but he created aloha. This smile.
He literally, quite literally.
Exactly. Yes. So real aloha will something always good will come from it, no matter what.
Clearly.
So if we would, maybe some people are watching who have hard times right now, in their relationship, in financial life, in their school, maybe in their family. The children, let's say, have parents who don't get along. How would you recommend, what would be the message for them, how to live aloha, how to really apply that if they don't know how?
Sure. I think many people in today's society especially, we're taught to be very much individualistic, to be ourselves. And so we are feeling bad. I'm having a bad day, they'll say, or I'm having this horrible situation in my life. When I will guarantee them, if they're not dead, no matter what they're going through, there's probably somebody somewhere going through a worse situation. And to find that gratitude for even the smallest things, like, say, breathing. I've been in hospice twice in my life. I've gone through a lot of medical challenges where breathing was really brought back to me. So I know for myself, and I can only share my experience. I think when it comes to advice, I've heard wise people don't need it, and fools won't heed it. So for me, I can just give you my experience. For me, my grandfather, Gino Maniscalco, taught me, be grateful for what you have because other people have less. And even as we discussed earlier, some people who seem like they have a lot may be sad. I mean, I know billionaires who are very sad. I know homeless people who are really happy. I mean, they appreciate the value of a breath, the value of a heartbeat. I'm grateful for every heartbeat.
But then how do you do when somebody doesn't know how to appreciate?
I think once you make someone aware of how individualistic they're being, because if they can't appreciate
Meaning selfish?
Well, you can say selfish, yeah.
Okay.
Probably being full of self and not looking outside themselves. Because I know people who are very wealthy and very sad, and then I can take them down to the River of Life Mission or certain nonprofit organizations and put them to use. I mean, I've known very wealthy people on the verge of committing suicide. And I would say,
we get it every day. More drug invested Hollywood and
Well,
fame,
it's interesting when
beauty,
you take
everything
someone
and
who's
drugs.
about to commit suicide and say, listen, let's pretend you virtually just committed suicide. So you're dead. Your brain's dead, your body's dead, you're gone, virtually speaking. Now, can I borrow that body of yours for a second and put you at Habitat or River of Life Mission so you can serve homeless people? You're dead anyway, so what do you care? And do this virtual exercise so that literally they can find that people can have it worse, and then they can find this place somewhere in their heart of gratitude for the simplest things. And find out that when they share what they have or their life experience, they can inspire people. They can take their resources and help people live more comfortably. Even if it's going out to Home Depot or Lowe's and buying plastic tarps and handing them out to homeless people in the rain. I've done that with some of my friends who are very depressed. Or just go to the linens place that take care of all the hotels and ask them for their ripped or stained linens and take them and then distribute those to homeless people when it's cold on a night like last night. And that will bring them a different perspective or a point of view, because really it's your paradigm. It's where you're looking at it from to come up with your perception of how you're feeling
And
about
you
what's going on.
compare yourself to something so idealistically fantastic that it's a fantasy. So
Well,
you don't see
most
the
of
reality.
our lives, because of the media, have been driven by these fantasies of I want, coming from this word of I, which has nothing to do with being part of a community, being part of a family. It's we, it's us. Nothing happens by themselves. I think people, when you're born, you're 100% dependent. You can't even wipe your own butt. Then
you cannot do anything.
You
by
cannot
yourself.
do anything. Can't feed yourself. And then you go into
A little
independence.
cow can walk 1 hour after it's born, or less. And we cannot walk 1 year after we are born.
Thank God for our parents. So when you're born, you're 100% dependent. And then you get to a teenager, you're independent. You know everything. There's nothing you don't know. But I think as we mature, and a lot of people don't get past that point, independent, I, me, my. They don't get past that point of independence to realize it's really interdependent. We need to work together to be successful. Even these wealthy people couldn't be wealthy by themselves.
But why would they work together when they just hurt me? They just use me. They break my heart. I just want to be by myself.
I think people, it's good to be alone sometimes when they're feeling that way. There's a lot of people in the world. Whoever they're talking about, there's other days that won't do that to them. They might want to revisit who they're hanging out with. And there's a couple billion people on the planet, probably are better choices. And there's a whole planet to explore. And so people who stay in a situation that maybe isn't as healthy and balanced can extricate themselves from that situation and share a different situation. Again, go to where they don't know anyone, but all those people they go to need help. Of course they're going to be grateful. Of course they're going to want to help.
So what's your experience when you take those billionaires to help homeless people?
Oh, you can see the
How
light bulb.
what the transition goes? Is there a moment when they just lit up?
There's a cathartic
What's
moment.
usually a connection with a homeless person or connection with?
I think it's on the ride
What
there when they're like,
happens?
holy crap, I'm going to be going to do this. When, they just left their, $20 million home up on some mountain on the west or east side of the island, and they're like
So
driving to
even
downtown.
before they get in a physical
it
contact.
gets quiet. It gets really quiet. There's moments of silence, and you can just see the light bulb, boop, like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. I've been so selfish. I've been so involved. Many of these things, and again, this is totally separate from people who have imbalances and need to see special doctors.
Of course.
I'm not a doctor. So,
Of course.
if someone needs help, they need to seek that help. But if there's a friend who's going through a tough time, I can show them pretty quickly people who are going through a tougher time.
Yes.
And then they can start seeing their lives from a different point of view. And when they see their lives from that point of view, they have this innate gratitude and probably start feeling a little bit goofy for being so selfish and for choosing, again, if there's a biochemical reason or a psychological reason for being depressed, that person needs to see a doctor and get medicine.
Yeah.
But if it's someone who's just going through a tough spot in their life where they're being selfish and all about themselves and that ego, that small separated self, their little ego, about, oh, poor me, feeling sorry for themselves, being responsible, able to choose their own response, being grateful for what they have. And sometimes what puts that light bulb on is seeing people so much less fortunate.
So what do you see them most grateful for when they wake up?
Well, I think their health, primarily. Because a lot of these people are so healthy and they're depressed. A lot of times that's being so healthy means they don't have enough the right kind of nutrition, which can affect how they feel as well. Nutrition has a lot to do with emotions.
Not enough chocolate can really affect.
Especially women.
More chocolate.
Yeah. Sad woman, add chocolate. Happy woman.
I'm pro chocolate.
Yeah, me too. So, but yeah, I mean, everyone's situation is slightly different, but as a gross generality, I would think appreciation for the most basic things again, your breath, your heartbeat. When you come from that point
of view.
And they
become, you can see in them, they become appreciative of that. Wow, my heart is beating.
Yeah. Well, when I talk to them, and people that talk to me will learn about my experience, they know how grateful I am for these heartbeats. I audit my life in real time. If I don't want to be somewhere, wherever I am, in real time, I'll leave. I'll be graceful, I'll be tactful, I'll be polite, but I'll get myself out of that situation because I know how limited my heartbeats and breaths are. Yeah. I'm the only man in my family's, on my father's lineage to ever live past 40. Yeah. I'm 47. I'm on borrowed time. I'm appreciating every moment of my life. I want to be with Helena right now. I don't want to be anywhere else in the world, or I would be somewhere else in the world. Exactly. I promise. Yes, and I hope everybody does that. I'm not special. I'm not different. This is the way I am. But if someone...
But that critical moment for me also, when war in my life, when I saw death, and my best friend, when she died, she could not, 3 days before her birthday, I remember feeling just, death is like here, constantly. And I'm blessed that it didn't slap me today. Yep. It's always here. Yeah. And I was having many shows here on choice of dying. Sure. And I had, the guest coming with, we were interviewing guests about, do we do the pill, the human euthanasia? Do we do that? And really appreciation of life, that last moment that you can die consciously.
Those are really special moments of appreciation. Yes. Been there, done that.
Consciousness is so important.
Yeah. I volunteer in hospice, and I can share with you those last few moments. Oh, I should have had another Big Mac, or I mean, but honestly, death is so beautiful to me too. I've been resuscitated many times. Back in 2002, I had one of the longest recorded passings in history, and death is so beautiful. It's so refreshing and awesome. I've never felt sorry for someone passing away. I'm sorry for the people left behind that feel sad that they're gone.
Or for them not living aloha before they died.
I mean, there's those if everyone could reverse engineer their life, starting from the last moment before they died, they would start from this point of such amazing appreciation for the most simple things. It'd be so amazing. Because when you're in that last moment, I was in the hospital bed one night, and I had a tracheostomy, and I was breathing through a hose in my neck. And when I went for a test, when they brought me back, they forgot to connect the emergency button. I held in my hand at all times in case I couldn't breathe. And it got clogged, and I was pushing the button, and it wouldn't work. And I'm like, I'm going to die. This is it. I'm done. And I remember all those things I thought, and how grateful I was for everything I've had, and how I wish I knew all that before that moment. And then I realized I have heart leads on my chest. So I ripped them off. And they ran in from my heart, and they came in and brought me back. And I thought to myself, I don't want to forget anything I just thought, ever. Those are my most precious thoughts about the things I'm most grateful for in my life. My son, my friends, my relationship, my mom, my dad, my memory of my father, my brother and my sister, my relatives. These things are so priceless to me. And I think I've always lived my life that way since I knew my grandfather had passed away, and I never got to meet him on my father's side. Yeah. And my dad passed away in my arms. My grandfather on my mother's side passed away in my arms. I've really learned from very personal experience how precious life is. Yeah. From the end, looking back to the beginning, instead of being in the beginning and taking the rest for granted. Yeah. It's a whole different perspective.
The most precious is when you really live this moment.
Yeah, every moment.
Because what's the use, really, of having everything if you cannot live now?
Yeah.
We always live, after holidays, before holidays. I want after my birthday, after getting married, after
birthday.
something.
Every day's Christmas.
Come on, let's now. Yes.
Every day. If you love yourself, every day should be a honeymoon for yourself. I'm telling you.
Are you married to yourself?
No, I try to be a steward of everything I have and share it with as many people as I can, for as much as I can while I'm here.
So we only have 2 minutes left, and I would like to know if
that was 25 minutes?
27 and a half.
Holy macaroni.
Can you believe?
That went quick.
Yeah. So if somebody is here on a edge, really thinking, okay, I want to change my life. I want to live aloha. I want to do something, but I don't know what, where to start. How do I appreciate anything even? Is there anything else you could say and share besides just appreciation? Gosh. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Give us a little bit more from the step one. If we are in despair, where do we go?
I think call 211 here in Hawaii and ask, where can I volunteer? And find out what's your favorite thing. When you were happy, you look back in your life and found some moments of happiness. Whatever that hobby was, go volunteer for homeless children. Be a big brother, be a big sister. Yeah. Go to some homeless shelter. Volunteer at a hospice. If you really want to appreciate life, be around people who are dying. Yeah. Those precious moments, it's so sacred. It's such a blessing to share those moments.
We put people who are dying so far away to make it look like we will never die. So that is like a big trouble.
Yep.
But if you go to the nature, it's always dying constantly, but it's never dead.
No.
It's always the leaves are changing. There is no death.
Yeah, matter that's here will never leave. It's all matter and energy, and it's all good. Yeah. It's a conscious decision. It really is, and it's against all odds because everything around us pretty much is making us probably not want to think so happy and so positive.
Oh, I want to talk about that in the next show. I want to drill you about your life and why you're so positive and you should be upset about your health situation.
No, I'm happy.
So watch us in the next show where Paul will share all of his positive, goofy stuff that is completely doesn't make sense.
I'm happy.
Thank you. If somebody wants to get in touch with you, they can call me at 266-0717 or they can call you at
721-7777.
7777. That's easy to remember.
I'm always available to anyone who needs help.
Always available. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate
you.
For that. Thank you very much.
I'm honored.
Yes, and live delicious and live aloha.
Live aloha.
Live aloha. Wow. This was fun.